Sha Money XL. I met Sha when I was first getting into music. Before signing to Interscope, I recorded a lot of songs for my mixtapes in the studio Sha operated in the basement of his house in Long Island. It wasn't a professional setup by a long shot, but it got the job done. More important, Sha provided a safe and secure space to record when a lot of bigger studios didn't want to fuck with me. Because of his loyalty and consistency during a difficult time, I considered Sha my partner. We never formalized our relationship, but in my head, it was a foregone conclusion that when I signed my next major label deal, Sha would eat off the situation too. So imagine my surprise when one of the first things Sha did after I signed my Interscope deal was present the label with a $50,000 invoice. He wanted to be reimbursed for the recording sessions we'd done at his house. That blew me away on several levels. First off, we've never discussed Sha charging me for the time at his place. And if that was something he felt that he was owed, why would he submit something so overinflated? $50,000 to record in his basement? It was disrespectful. I decided to try and talk some sense into Sha. Look, I didn't think you were going to hand me a bill for what we did at your crib, I told him. But if you feel like you need to get paid for those sessions, just take $30,000 and a point off the album. I was offering less cash than he wanted, but it was actually a very generous deal. A point was an industry term that meant for every album sold, Sha would receive 1% of the royalties. In the record business, points are what everyone is looking for. If an album really takes off, there's no limit to the amount you might make. Judging from the buzz around me, we were talking about an album that was definitely going to take off. Sha wasn't interested in the point. Even his lawyer told him he was crazy. Take the fucking point, the guy told him. I'll give you $20,000 right now for it. What the fuck is wrong with you? He wouldn't even listen to his own attorney. Sha wanted his $50K for me and wasn't going to budge. He ended up getting it, but it would be a decision that cost him dearly. That single point on Get Rich or Die Trying ended up being worth $1.3 million. He didn't just lose over $1 million either. After Get Rich or Die Trying started flying off the shelves, Interscope offered me a $15 million deal for G-Unit Records. Once that deal was signed, I noticed Sha started hanging around my office a lot. I guess he thought he was going to get some of that budget too. Nope, you ain't getting none of this money. I was quick to tell him. You took your equity out of the situation when you demanded the $50,000. Now you've been paid for everything you've done. Our relationship was never the same. And just to share millions with, to just another contractor. Sha undercut his own position by not understanding how to negotiate. He got fixated on that $50,000 and could not get himself unstuck. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make when entering a negotiation. Never get fixated on a number. You want the person you're negotiating with to think you're stuck, but when the right moment comes, you have to be prepared to move off it. That's not undervaluing yourself. It's just a matter of understanding successful negotiations are built on give and take. If you refuse to concede anything, the conversation isn't going anywhere. If Sha had understood that basic principle, he would have seen that there was a very easy path towards getting what he wanted, and then some. We would have settled. Sha would have walked away with close to $2 million from that deal alone. Plus, our relationship would have remained on strong terms. He would likely have gotten points on subsequent albums as well. Instead, he got only a fraction of that. I was offering him a chance to enter a new tax bracket, and he negotiated himself into nickels and dimes due to ego, insecurity, and possibly lack of faith, feeling weaker.
Instead of getting millions, he lost millions just because of 50,000. Damn. It's that greedy shit. Cooked up stories, y'all.